want to goddamn go and let y'all know. For you new people that come over here, I ain't gonna. I mainly get my audience, my new audience, from the Mr. Ballin videos I post every Sunday, or Mr. Ballin videos I post in general. For the hate comments, you feel me? I can't hear you stealing people content and all that. This shit, I'd have been said this shit 50,000 times. It's called this a reaction channel. When you click my channel, it says Taste Social Reacts. And then you read the fucking caption of the video, it says reaction. Like it's 50,000 other YouTubers out here that's doing reaction videos. You gonna come over here and troll me. But you know what I'm saying? Murder Show. For those who watch Murder Show, he Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? He play Call of Duty and shit. You feel me? He told me, like, the people, when you got, you know, a lot of comments and shit, the algorithm for your videos go up. So, you know what I'm saying? I love the hate comments, man. You feel me? I still get paid. And if you don't watch my video again, I don't give a fuck. It's gonna be other people that ain't never seen me before fuck with my channel. But let's go ahead and get into the wrestling flashbacks, or another 10 infamous wrestling receipts. For those who don't know what wrestling receipts is, it's when, let's say, if you know, so I hit you too hard or hit you real, like we all know wrestling scripted, but if I hit you real or injury or some shit, that's a receipt that the person that you did that to, they got to do that to you. You feel me? For those who ain't wrestling fans or don't understand wrestling. And this player's pay-per-view backlash was fucking amazing in France. I love when they have it in France anyway, but let's go ahead and get the video started, man.
Of wrestling means that the action can very much become all too real, whether the wrestler is laying it in, working snug, or throwing a stiff potato. This can happen sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose, and sometimes accidentally on purpose. We'll look at examples of each today as we highlight 10 more wrestling receipts. First, we have a recent example of a receipt that came about following the men's War Games match at Survivor Series 2022, where the Bloodline took on Drew McIntyre, the Brawling Brutes, and Kevin Owens. During the match, Owens slapped Roman Reigns hard in the face. The Stats connection made a wicked sound and led to a subsequent slugfest. Roman had a bruise under his left eye afterward and suffered an eardrum injury, which may have been a result of Owens' slap. Regardless, Reigns was said to have...
I ain't gonna lie, you ain't gonna see me throwing up the ones if Roman ain't in there. If Roman or the Usos ain't in the bloodline, you ain't gonna catch me throwing up the ones. I'm sorry. That's just me though. That's just me though.
Legitimately upset with Kevin after the match. However, the tribal chief opted against handing out Owens' receipt during the War Games match. Reigns instead waited until their next encounter on the final SmackDown of 2022, where Roman teamed with Sami Zayn to face Owens and John Cena. During the bout, Reigns gave Owens a stiff lariat, sending KO straight to the mat. Cena's reaction on the apron said it all. It was one hell of a shot by the head of the table, but it was Owens who had the last laugh when it came to the match, as it was he and Cena that got the victory, although he did suffer a nasty bruise to the eye at the hands of Reigns. Next, we have a receipt that was 2.5 years in the making. It all started with the NWO's parody of the Four Horsemen from WCW Monday Nitro in 1997. Arn Anderson and his wife were unhappy with Kevin Nash's impression of Double A. They took Nash making fun of Arn's drinking habits as a mean-spirited personal attack. The Horsemen were meant to get their revenge on the same night of the parody. However, plans changed. Then, once the Fall Brawl War Games pay-per-view came around, the Horsemen were decisively beaten by the NWO. And when Arn Anderson had retired from the ring earlier that year, it appeared as though the Enforcer wasn't going to get any form of payback on Nash. That was until January 2000, when Anderson made a run-in during Nash's match against Bret Hart on Nitro. When Nash was outside the ring, Arn ran down and attacked Kev from behind with a lead pipe.
I wasn't even born during that time. So I seen it before though.
Really an accidental potato.
I don't have to address something from behind with a lead pipe. It's not the way I
ain't gonna lie, they say Arn Anderson racist. I ain't gonna lie to you. They say Arn Anderson racist in the motherfucker.
operate. So if he got potatoed, it was purely accidental, which I apologized to him that night.
But Kevin Nash disagrees.
He hit me with a wrench in Florence.
And Randy Orton used to say that they do that same shit too. Or Bob Orton said the same thing when they do the AOP accidentally on purpose. Like they'll hit you for real, knowing they didn't hurt you, but still try to apologize to cover their own ass and keep their job. which is crazy. Like, why the fuck would you? We all working together damn near every week, probably every night, and you gonna hurt me? It's fucking crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that shit.
Talk about a receipt. Why you really shut out my ass?
Either way, it was the first time Arn was able to get physical with Nash after the parody, even if it occurred during a different storyline a few years later. A receipt on its own is bad enough, but a receipt at the hands of an unprotected steel chair shot is the stuff of nightmares. A receipt of this nature occurred during the Raw Elimination match at Survivor Series 2004. Maven was assaulted before the match by Snitsky, who landed some stiff shots. When he returned, he went straight for Snitsky. Maven hit a jumping elbow,
I remember him too.
square in the eye.
He do YouTube.
This cut Snitsky up.
I'm tripping. He do YouTube now. Snitsky. I don't remember Snitsky. See, like, I was watching wrestling even when I was little, but as far as me remembering matches and shit like that, they had to be really, really good. Like, I was watching wrestling when I was 2004. I was 4, and so on and so on. 2005, I was 5. 2006, I was 6. I started remembering shit like 2005-ish, because I remember John Cena, Batista, and Randy Orton. They was in Triple H. They was fucking shit up back then. I ain't gonna lie. Kurt Angle, they was fucking shit up.
With blood dripping down his face
Literally.
onto his chest. Since Snitsky was booked to get himself disqualified by hitting Maven with a chair, it was important for Maven to lay it in so that Snitsky had a suitable reason to get his revenge. And even though Maven struck Snitsky by accident, it worked out for the best.
Maven said that shit hurt it too.
And Snitsky responded with a thunderous chair shot.
That shit sound like it.
Are you 18 to 24 years old? We're looking for motivated people
Maven
to
said that
take
shit
on
hurt it too.
cyber
That shit look like it hurt it.
Snitsky gave out more chair shots to Chris Jericho and Randy Orton. After this, he walked to the back with blood still pouring from his eye. This was Maven and Snitsky's only ever pay-per-view main event, but you have to give them credit as their receipt exchange helped add to the match.
All I did was give his face a tiny bit more care. And
There you go.
He did give me a little bit of an extra receipt in that. I had it coming.
A blast from a steel chair was the receipt in the last entry, but our next receipt is the result of a hard chair shot. Occurring on the first SmackDown of 2003, Paul Heyman and Big Show cut a promo, calling out Brock Lesnar, who then appeared on stage only to be attacked from behind by Matt Hardy wielding a chair. The chair shot busted Brock wide open, with the back of his head completely covered in blood. Lesnar was quick to get his revenge though, and it came as a result of a vicious clothesline. Hardy and Lesnar then wrestled later.
Girl, I remember when Brock Lesnar first came. It's crazy. I know I keep pausing, but I remember when Brock Lesnar first fucking came. Cause, and when I was little, bro was like he is now. Like, but Brock, I ain't gonna count. Brock was bigger back then, though, did he? Bro, was
Lesnar
definitely bigger,
refused medical
man.
attention and didn't even put on his
They really
wrestling gear
same
for the
side,
match.
though.
Brock gave Matt a merciless beating in a highly entertaining squash. Hardy's follower Shannon Moore also received the pummeling, being hit with an epic F5. Hardy was also given an F5, which earned Brock the victory. Lesnar came across like a tough as nails, unstoppable monster, in no small part thanks to Hardy and Shannon Moore, who made the next big thing look like $1 million. When the Dudley Boys joined the WWF in 1999, they were immediately paired with the Acolytes. The two teams had numerous very physical encounters. This was done as a way of testing the Dudleys, to ensure that there was no repeat of what happened with the Public Enemy. The Public Enemy had previously tried to change the finish in a match with the Acolytes right before they went out. Farouk and Bradshaw then subsequently destroyed them and sent them packing from the WWF. The Dudleys made their presence known during their WWF debut by attacking the Acolytes with 2x4s. Bubba in particular made sure to lay it in, giving Bradshaw 2 legit smacks one after the other.
Get the Dudley Boys! Bubba, it was so hard with that 2x4. I lost feeling in my feet and my hands.
Next week, Farouk and Bradshaw
Busted up. I'll be watching Busted Open
when they
too.
ran in during the interview segment. The Acolytes beat the Dudleys around with 50-gallon drums, getting their receipt from the prior SmackDown.
They were ready to kill us. They hit the set. They beat the crap out of us. Ron Simmons is picking up a 50-gallon drum.
Yeah.
A shoot.
Ron Simmons gonna stop, nigga, every time. JBL too.
They're all live round.
After the segment was over, both teams shook hands and thanked each other. The Dudley Boys had proved that they could hang and do business whilst earning the respect of the locker room who were watching on. Celebrities in wrestling can be hit or miss, as seen from the Japanese appearances in WWE. In 2006,
the Samoan bull, nigga.
Umaga, due to not staying down after a beating, instead laughing after being attacked, leading to Umaga legitimately knocking Steve.
Yeah, I remember that too. Cause I ain't no way you coming in this bitch laughing, cause he supposed to sell. Nigga, I Show Speed, nigga, did a better job than Steve-O, nigga. Like, for real. But I'm gonna say this right quick. In the last time pausing, bro, I used to be scared of more of Umaga than the Undertaker. Umaga was different. He remind me. I ain't gonna say Solo. He remind me, especially his son remind me of him, and Jacob Fatu. But Jacob Fatu, that motherfucker can fly. That motherfucker different.
Unconscious. Johnny Knoxville would have been hoping he fared better than his fellow cast members during his WWE run, which began when Knoxville entered the Royal Rumble match in 2022.
Man, Steve-O used to come too, though.
With a rough exchange initiated by Knoxville. AJ Styles gave Knoxville one free shot, to which Johnny responded with a clubbing forearm. I'm not sure how wise that was. Unlike with Steve-O and Umaga, this was all in good fun, but Knoxville was still owed a receipt. He told Styles to bring it, and the phenomenal one obliged, firing back with a snug clothesline.
Axel said bring it. It's Styles. Oh my goodness!
Knoxville then ate a frog splash from Montez Ford and was eventually eliminated by rival Sami Zayn. As we
to do that, AJ Styles is fucking crazy.
Satin can certainly dish out a receipt, as was the case when he punished enhancement talent Mike Bell. But some 7 months later, Saturn was on hand to deliver more receipts, this time in another physical match.
I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers is.
Gamble on an episode of WWF Metal in December 2001. The
story
goes Gamble
I remember that, buddy.
And had friends and family.
Shit, I know I won.
For that reason, he wanted to get more offense in than a typical jobber would. The match starts off with Gamble performing a hip toss, to which Saturn then responds by asking Gamble, "Are you trying to shoot on me?" Before giving Gamble a strong slap to the face. Gamble replies with a shove, only to get annihilated with a massive spear. But there was still more to come, as Saturn also delivered a hard kick to the back. Gamble managed to hit a spinning elbow, where he then tried to go for a cover, but Saturn wasn't having any of it. Perry brought Gamble down one more time, allowing Saturn to lock in a submission hold, which got the win. It's not known for sure if Gamble truly did go into business for himself, but the match plays out quite differently to a typical enhancement squash, with the wrestlers being on different pages at various points in the match. If you're looking for a wrestler getting angry with his opponent and subsequently assaulting them for real in the ring,
New Jack didn't give a fuck.
New Jack. New Jack was up to his old ways during a match for a Florida Independent.
R.I.P. New Jack, man.
2004. New Jack
that was what you call a real nigga.
The two immediately got off on the wrong foot when Red refused to talk over the match with Jack backstage. Then once the bout began, Hunter Red began laying into the original gangster, nailing him with 2 stiff potatoes before then trying to manhandle New Jack. Jack responded by pulling out a blade from his pocket and driving it directly into Hunter Red's body 9 times.
I grabbed the rope and I pulled a knife out and started stabbing.
I stuck him like 9 times.
What the? Oh, he's stabbing this one. Run!
The few fans in the audience reacted in complete horror. New Jack had to be pulled away from his opponent by the promoter. New Jack was charged with aggravated battery and faced up to 15 years in prison. However, he was given a lifeline by the victim of his assault, Hunter Red. Red agreed to drop the charges provided he and New Jack turned the incident into an angle and toured around the Florida independent circuit, wrestling matches against one another. New Jack agreed provided Hunter Red dropped the charges first. Once Red did so, Jack left Florida and never spoke to Hunter Red again.
He went and dropped the charges. I went home and I left.
Rikishi's always been known as a fun-loving video character that never failed to entertain the people, so it was a surprise to fans when he lost his cool whilst wrestling a tag match in the WWF's former developmental territory, HWA, in December 2001. Rikishi wrestled against a team featuring Haku and Russ McCullough. A planned spot was to see Russ hold Rikishi in place for a kick.
For those who don't know who live under a rock, and because I just explain this too, bro, because some people just not coming just not start watching wrestling. For those who don't know, Rikishi is Jimmy Uso. Well, it's the whole bloodline. They also can, bro. Put it like that. But Jimmy and Jay Uso and Solo, they daddy. And Umaga is his brother. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, something like that, bro. I think it's something
from
like that.
Haku.
Hey, bloodline,
Rikishi
it's
to
so
move,
many of them,
leading
bro.
to
Right?
McCullough being accidentally hit instead. The problem was Rikishi was supposed to move to the left, but ended up moving right instead, meaning Haku's kick hit Rikishi hard in the face. This infuriated Big Kish, who went to the outside, grabbed a fan's chair, and went straight for McCullough. Rikishi rained down chair shot after chair shot, completely bending the chair in half and forcing McCullough to retreat to the back. Rikishi was none too pleased with being potatoed, and there was a further altercation once the wrestlers got to the backstage area. It was there that Rikishi and other Samoan wrestlers threatened to beat up Russ. McCullough had already been told that his contract wasn't going to be renewed, and he was allowed out of his deal early.
Imagine getting threatened by Samoans,
We
cuz.
go to Japan in 1990, where a huge
Imagine.
promotional match for
His
the
whole
IWGP
family.
Heavyweight Championship saw All Japan's
And them
Stan
motherfuckers can
Hansen
fight.
challenge New Japan's Big Van Vader in one of wrestling's stiffest ever matches. Even before the match began, Vader suffered a broken nose whilst on the outside after Hansen swung his cowbell at him.
He was telling me, he says, you hit the thing came back, broke my nose right off the bat.
Once things got underway, the physicality continued, with both men hitting each other for real, with Vader in particular landing some very stiff shots. Hansen responded with a melee in the corner, where he ended up sticking his thumb into Vader's eye, causing it to pop out, resulting in an insane visual. Vader showed incredible toughness, pushing his eye back into his socket and holding it in place with his eyelid. The match continued as
What? I have never heard about that.
The holy hell out of each other, with the action eventually spilling to the outside. The match ended in a double countout after both men continued brawling in the crowd.
All the bones in my face had to be fused. So, I mean, all my cheekbone was broken, all this was broken. My whole nose was crushed.
Extensive surgery was required on
boy,
his face following the match. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like.
Hey, okay. Some of these I didn't even know about. Damn, so the last one I ain't never know about that one. He popped his eye and popped it back in. I ain't never knew about that one. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. That's why I do these videos. That being said, give you a thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new, come with this bitch like you know something, or I'm gonna treat you like a hoe and get your ass up out of here. That being said, let's ride. See you when I see you.